What's happening, Fresh Baked? We are back with another update on Disneyland construction here at in the parks at Disneyland, Pixar Pier, parking structure, and we're starting on Casey Jr., looking at the backside of Dumbo, hoping to see if we can't spot something. And while we can't really see anything very well from the hill as Casey endeavors to climb that hill, there are some things to notice when we stop here in a second, and that is that one of the things I saw was those beams being installed. They since last week they put in a bunch of beams, these things right here, and I figured or I assumed that these were going to be the faux wood fence. I think that they're talking about in the permits, not a hedge, but a fake fence of some kind, a fake wood fence. However, what's interesting if we continue is that you'll notice some of those are in front of the area where that guy is working, in front of the old, what do you call it? Well, the non-used where the calliope is, where the organ is. So there's more of the posts there. If we, I'm trying to understand where they're going to put this fence. If you guys can make sense of that with me or for me, that would be great. I'll see a whole bunch of those posts everywhere, and they're different heights and different angles. And maybe I've got it wrong. Maybe those are supports for the shade structure, actually. Maybe that's what that is. Because they are talking about building a shade structure, and it is my understanding that at least part of the queue will be going behind the attraction, so that would make sense. So those could be supports for that. But that's just as good a look as we're going to get. And there's really nothing going on the ground anyway when it comes to Dumbo. All the stuff that they're building is the new queue stuff, you know, the shade areas. They're not redoing the ride at all. And then here's a look from King Arthur's Carousel, where you can see the post again. And we're showing this here also just to show. I wonder if they're going to put, see how those beams are in front of that structure? I'm wondering if they're going to put the shade over it as well. And they extend all the way to the right. Interesting, I think. I don't know. Let's go to Small World. That's the same. So we're going to keep on moving past that. But we are going to stop here in a second to look at how things are happening or progressing here. More trees. You can see that they've sectioned off more areas. If we look last week, not as many areas were sectioned off by the orange netting. There's a lot of stuff they're putting down on the ground with all that netting and whatnot. And then if we keep going further, this is where things get a little interesting for me. Right here, if we stop, look at that. Wait, okay, so in previous weeks, I'm like, oh no, that's the path right there on the left, which makes sense. That's the parade route and for guests, etc. On the other side is going to be this new queue that we're talking about. Except, instead of putting in a queue, they're putting in a bunch of trees. Why would they put in a bunch of trees instead of, I mean, I'm glad if they did do that because that's great. I do love trees, especially on the ground, near an attraction like this. But I thought, where's the queue going to be? Where's the new queue going to be if it's not there? What are they doing? Are they going to mix the queue into the trees? Look at last week. No trees. This week, trees. So did they just decide they wanted to put more trees on there? Because that's not a queue, and I don't think you could fit a queue in there, right? Or would you have the guests walk through the trees? Well, that'd be neat. Actually, if they did, I would be totally okay with that. But I don't see that. I don't see that happening here. That's not what it looks like they're doing. And we'll keep on going. It's just, I mean, I guess next week we'll find out more because we're finding out more. This is moving fast, so we're going to find out more and more every week. But enough of this. Let's go to Pixar Pier, where we're going to start with this guy. One guy. They got one guy. Painting and fixing Mickey's Fun Wheel, making it blue. This is the way it is for me on the weekends. I'm always just seeing one guy, but I don't think I want to watch this guy anymore. I think I'd rather hang out with my friends at the Cove Bar, which is where I shot this clip from, while we were waiting for our drinks. Always working. I'm always looking for updates. can see they have painted the Scream tube red. They've made, yeah, this is the first launch tube with Jack Jack and Dash, and it is red. So there. Now we're also going to take a look down here on the ground on the boardwalk. I'm trying to see if I can find if they've taken down any of the facades for the boardwalk games. I'm looking through there, and you can see if, as we get to the right, that the boardwalk game facades are still there. But if we keep panning to the right, the facades for the Curiosities, you know, the gift shop, those are all under tarp now. Those are all being taken down and redone. Oh, and one more thing. That is the hot dog hut, that white structure there. That is the building formerly known as the hot dog hut. There you go. In a second. So that's happening. And then there's this guy. I don't know why I put this in there. Just a guy climbing the stairs on his way to the other launch tube or Scream tube. Wow. And then there's also these guys right here. I find a construction worker. I want to film them, even though they're not doing anything. Nothing new to report from the launch. The Incredicoaster launch. This guy was doing something not... He was sanding something, it looked like, or it sounded like. That was, you could hear it. It sounded like a sander of some kind. Maybe just smoothing out some rough, you know, like bolts or whatever. Nothing new to report here. This looks almost exactly as it did last week. Same here with the King Triton's Carousel. It looks like they've taken something down, but no, that's how it always looked. Empty and skeletal like that, which is strange. There's another shot of the launch tube. There's some guys working there. But again, nothing much to report here other than that it's red. You can't see anything in there, which bums me out. I want to see stuff. And lastly, nothing to report here either. This is just another angle of the Incredicoaster queue. This is, you know, I guess they're just going to put a new skin on top of that because it's obvious they're not taking that thing down, right? I don't know. Let's go to the parking structure where we're going to see that Lightning McQueen has dug up some more concrete. And I mean, this thing is just fully in total teardown mode. That area is the old bag check area. Just concrete dug up everywhere. And then we'll take another look from further down the parking structure on the top level. That right there, that's the path. That's the old tram path right there. They have to dig that up differently than the rest of the pavement, which is interesting. I'm not sure why that is, but there you go. And then there's the dirt, parking structure dirt. Next week, less dirt, more dirt? I don't know. I wonder how quick they're going to be able to build this thing. Because this thing is definitely urgent. They want to get this thing built and done before Star Wars Land opens. Before Galaxy's Edge opens in, what, a year? No, a year and a half, maybe? I don't know. Thanks for watching, guys. We're done. We'll see you next week. Fresh baked and stuff. We've got lots more videos for you to see, so grab a churro and check out some of our other videos and have your mind blown by how much fun we're having. We truly are the best of Disney Bake Fresh Daily. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time. Fresh baked!